Everyone
Hi.
doing?
Evening. Happy evening to everyone. I know that you all were expecting Coach, the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham. Well, guess what? You have all of us, and we make up a part of the unit that is Coach's community. She sent us in here to bless you all this evening. So, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about missing money, and we're going to do it as a panel discussion. So, what we would like to see is folks out in the audience on Facebook, on Periscope, on YouTube. We want you all to like, share the broadcast because sharing is caring. But we want you all to talk to us. Talk to us in the chat about some of the things that we talk about around missing money and missing money in your business. Sometimes it's like opening the car window as you drive along and the money just fly out the window. And you're like, "Oh my God, I'm trying to catch it. I don't know why the money is flying out. I can't stop it." But tonight we're going to talk about one, missing the money and how not to miss your money. I'm Rose Fauntleroy, and I'm going to pass it off to my illustrious co hosts to introduce themselves, and then we're going to get this party started. Come on, y'all. Come on with it, ladies.
Hello, everyone. I'm Monique Spalding. I'm the CEO of SPMC International LLC and the founder of Government Contracting University, GCU. And so I am so super excited to be here. One of the main things that I would say that in my particular business where I missed the money is I did not know the information, my industry concerning government contracting is I did not know that 5% of a percentage of set asides was actually specifically earmarked for women owned small businesses. And I didn't, I had heard about women being able to get into government contracting and things of that nature, but I did not know that, there's just certain earmark of percentage. And we had talked about this before the, broadcast before when we were talking about the Total Women's Success Summit, but I won't get into all the details there. But what I personally missed the mark in missing the money is that I did not have the knowledge. I did not have the intellect. And that's something that what coaching does for you. Coaching, gives you the knowledge, gives you the intellect, teaches you on how to go and do the research and how to investigate in your industry on what to do and how to go about not missing the money. But that's one of the areas, and I'll have some more comments later, but that's one of the areas where I've missed the mark.
Anybody want to chime in on that? Because Monique, that is a great point. That is a great point. Hit it, Carolyn. I saw your hand go up.
Yes, it did. Hi, everybody. I am Carolyn Hooper Black, and I am the creator and founder of Spa Professionals Academy. I missed my mark by having too much information and did not know the order of how it was supposed to go in. And until I got coaching, I found out what that order was supposed to be. So I missed money because I had a lot of information, but I didn't know the strategy behind it. So once I got wise counsel and I got coaching, now I know the strategies and I'm not missing money no more. So it's best if you're like me who had too much information, get the wise counsel so they can give you the strategies and the means so that you're not missing any more money. That's what I have.
Wow. I like that. One of my leaks was, and I'm Rose Fauntleroy, y'all. I am the creator and founder of the virtual time and sales genies. And what that means is I give you more hands so that you can have more time in your business, thereby make more revenue. And one of the marks that I missed that was a leak for me is because I thought if I knew it, everyone else did too.
Mm.
So when I saw people sharing along the same lines or selling along the same lines as what I do, I figured people already knew that, they already had that, so they wouldn't necessarily need what I had. But that is the furthest thing from the truth. What you all say about that?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yes, I
Because
totally agree.
sometimes we can assume that people know things and it comes out they don't know anything and they're going to need your services to help them. So I'm in agreement with that 100%.
Yeah. I think oftentimes because I know in the coaching and consulting field, certain industries can be so overly saturated. And so we feel like because so many people are doing the same things that we're doing, or their target audience is our target audience, that sometimes we quiet our voice and we become the best kept secret. And so we're leaving money on the table just by not opening up and speaking. We're not letting people know what we do. We're not bringing value to the table because we think that people have eaten enough, but we don't understand they may have eaten Sally's potato salad. They may have eaten Jones sweet potato pie, but hey, they have not had your peach cobbler.
Exactly.
And so they may all be desserts, and they may all be for educators. They may all be for virtual assistants. They may all be for those, who want to do this, that, or the other, but nobody can do it like Vicky can do it. Nobody can make that dessert taste like I can make it. And I know for me, I was leaving money on the table because I saw everybody. It's like not until I wanted to rescue teachers and set teachers free. It's like time I decided to do what God called me to do. Now everybody trying to do the same thing. And I promise you, it was not like that before. And so I quieted my mouth, and I was leaving money on the table, day after day, week after week, because I felt like if they're saying it and they're saying it and she's saying it, and, then there's no need in me saying it. But guys, do you understand that it's a voice that is ordained to hear from, or ear that's ordained to hear nobody's voice but yours. And so if we're not speaking, then, I just know I'm excited about tonight, and I'm excited that I no longer have to leave money on the table. That it does not matter what this person is doing to the left or to the right of me, or any of that anymore. It only matters how I value me. It only matters me being real and me being authentic. And so that's how I'm no longer leaving money on the table. I'm no longer going to miss out on what's mine by worried about, this person doing the same thing that I'm doing. It doesn't matter. It's enough. It's enough for all of us. All of us can make these millions. And so, that's where I'm trying to keep my mind and stay focused, that it does not matter what anybody else is doing. Vicky, keep moving, keep moving, keep going, keep going. And I just have to keep saying that to myself over and over again, because everybody out there seems to be doing what I'm doing, but they can't do it like me.
Absolutely, Vicky. You make some very good points there, because they could have eaten everybody else's or somebody else's potato salad, sweet potato pie, but that may have made them sick. It may not have worked. It may not have worked like Vicky's works for them. And like you said, you're enough. And that's the one thing we as women, I think, need to internalize. There is no scarcity. There is enough. There's enough to go around, because we all serve different audiences, have different audiences. So, like you said, having that ear to hear what I say may not speak to a teacher, even though a teacher needs lead sales and automation to make their business run. But when I'm talking about it, it may not speak to their ear or their pain point. What y'all think about that?
I think that's excellent. That's excellent, because you have to like you said, we all have our own unique, it's like our fingerprint, it's not like anyone else's fingerprint, it's unique and it has an identifier on it. And so when we go forth in our industries, we're not like any other person, even though there might be some other people that are out there. And so I know one of the things that I have to say this, where I've left money on the table. I'm going to introduce this topic, if you don't mind, Ms. Rose.
Floor is yours.
I left money on the table by not charging my worth.
Oh, come on now.
All
Come
right,
on, come on, Monique.
all right now, I'm bringing it.
Bring it, Monique. What you mean by that?
Well, ladies, I just want you to know I have had an issue concerning charging my worth and not being, just struggling, not trying to be helpful and giving value, but then, giving it for free and, backroom inbox giving people information when I really should be giving them a consultation, or they should be having a consultation with me and things of that nature. And I just had to stop. I said, this is not productive for me. This is not productive for my business. And then not only that, but when the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham launched the first session of this meeting, and she talked to us about charging our worth, and she saw and we saw those designer bags that were made out of hot dogs, cupcakes, snow cones, that were selling for $5,600 a pop. I said, oh no, no. I'm going to charge my worth. So I just like to introduce that topic, that's where I've left money on the table and not charging my worth.
All right, ladies, what say you? Because I have something for that, but y'all go ahead. What say you, ladies? What y'all say?
I think that Monique is not alone in that one. I think that so many of us have been there at one place or another, when it comes to charging, our worth. And so my name is Alicia Nicole Johnson, and I'm the founder of the Kingdom CEO Movement and Financially Free Ministries. And so particularly really just being a kingdom, a kingdom entrepreneur, I find it was a challenge, especially in those early days, of being able to distinguish, between, what information is doing the Lord's work and what information is what you should be paid for. And so really it just comes through that process of, being able to have the coaching, that you get an understanding that there are, a lot of people that look just like I do, find themselves torn, where, their vocation and their occupation are one and the same. And just getting that you're really and truly doing a disservice to your audience, and you're doing, while everyone else is out having a good time, you're spending time before God, knows in the books and all that, to get all this revelation, you do them a disservice to give that away for free, and you do yourself a disservice. Not only do you leave money on the table, but then that further, I think, reinforces the fact that, what, I'm not worth all that I should be. If you are always giving something away from free, who's going to see the value in that? So
come on,
not
now.
alone in that one, Monique.
Come on now.
I think sometimes we feel like we have to prove ourselves to people, and that before we can charge a certain amount, that we have to go through hell and high water. We have to do this, and almost like we have to pay our dues, before we can charge a certain amount. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that when I have established myself, as the expert, then I do believe that there is a price tag attached to that. But someone said this to me and it just stuck with me. They said when McDonald's opened up, they didn't open up and let everybody come in and they got their food free for X amount of weeks or X amount of months or whatever. When Walmart opened up charging people. And so if I'm a business, if I run a business, then I need to run my business because I want to make a profit. As much as I want to help educators, as much as I love students, at the end of the day, I want to make a profit. I want to make some money. And so that just really stood out to me, that I can, from the jump, from the beginning, when I say I'm in business, straightway I can start charging, and I can charge what I want to charge, not what somebody else says that I need to charge. And that really just got me. And I'm not going to say that I don't struggle with it still sometimes, because I do. And that's why the mind work, oh my gosh, the mindset work every day is very necessary, because I still find myself going back and forth with that. I still find myself, and Coach really was the one that talked me out of this. She was like, girl, she said, teachers have money. Teachers have money. People pay for what they want to pay for. Mm-hmm. And I just had to get that in my mind, that I can't keep lowballing myself and then expecting to get those high ticket clients. I was just totally out of alignment. I was believing for one thing, but then my prices were showing up for something else. If I'm believing for that client who's willing to pay that $50,000 for my high ticket program, but yet I keep with, okay, well, I'll do this for free, or can I just do this, for testimonies? And nothing is wrong with that. I think that's great. I've done that before, but that can't be all that we do.
Right. That can't be your full business model. But let me ask you this, because you said something, you threw out that word expert. What about being an expert? You felt you did this until you became the expert. If you know more than the person who's asking you for the advice, aren't you the expert?
Aren't you the expert?
Aren't you?
And we are. And I think that's what we get caught up in, that too. And that's why we keep missing money, because we think that we have to have, and I believe in doing things with integrity, but I also believe that we can help people from certain positions. I have helped people because of the experiences that I've had. I've been able to help people while I'm in the struggle. And then, I've been able, to help people because I do maybe have that certification or that degree or that. So it's always somebody who's praying to be where we are. We're saying that we're not good enough, or that we don't have this or we don't have that. And somebody's actually praying to be where we are right now. So you can be an expert in different positions, but I think that we fool ourselves into thinking that an expert, I think we put too much weightiness on what an expert is, if that makes sense, Rose. I think we put too much on it, and it doesn't have to. I think we overcomplicate. And whenever I overcomplicate, I don't make money. I'll just put it there. I'll just say that whenever I overcomplicate, whenever I make things harder than what it really has to be, I find myself getting stuck and not making money. And we can't do that anymore.
Anything anybody else want to add to that before we move on to another topic? Because I think that's good.
Well, add in that I think that even the people who we quote unquote might look at as an expert, do you notice that a lot of times they're teaching the same things that we already know? As a matter of fact, we could probably teach it forward and backwards, and then we'll sit there like, oh wow, people are paying $50,000 to know the very same thing that you could teach 36 times over. So that was my first thought. And then my second second thought is that, how many times have we been the expert to, the people who report to at work? We have had bosses that we've been giving information, given ideas to, that they will happily, put their name on and say, oh yeah, Vicky or Alicia's a contributor. But we have served with, I don't know how many years of industry experience, and we're bringing all that to a table, and a lot of that which have moved a company forward. So, when it comes down to that expert, we've earned that title. Most of us have, in one way or another.
Alicia, that is awesome. You are absolutely right. Because I think as entrepreneurs, when we move over to the entrepreneur space from working in the corporate arena, we tend to forget all about the 10, 20, 30 years of experience we've had doing something in the corporate arena. It's almost like we put that in a little case and zip it up and leave it over there, and then come to the entrepreneur space and act like we don't know anything. What y'all think?
I think that is so on point, because with all of my experience in the government, in the military, as a retired captain in the United States Army, and Alicia, I want you to know that as a kingdom entrepreneur, the Lord told me, okay, it is Sunday, everybody, so just let me go there for a second. The Lord said for me, hallelujah. The Lord told me to step out and go on live. This is before we knew about Clubhouse and things of that nature, but told me to step out and start doing my lives and start talking about government contracting. And I felt so insecure. I didn't know what to say. And, I was coming up with all these excuses for not doing what God had told me to do. And then I want to say within a week, not even a week, but a few days, I was searching on Facebook, and there was a Facebook ad on someone doing government contracting. And he was using that ad to let me know, see, I want you to be doing this, and I was just like, okay, God, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I started, just what I did is I learned what my sweet spot was. I honed in on my niche market. I honed in on the skills and expertise that I know about. Not only that, but I got a coach. Another thing that I missed the money on was not thinking that I could do it without a coach.
Yes.
Okay.
Say that again. That warrants repeating. Thinking that again for the folks with the cheap seats.
The cheap seats. Okay, I'll say it again for everybody. I missed the money for what people wear in the back. I missed the money because I thought I could do this without having a coach. I didn't even know that I needed a coach. So just having the thought of having a coach, a business coach in my mind or my vernacular to say that I have one, I didn't even know that I needed one, that's where I needed to be. But lo and behold, I found myself here in the community. And so excited to be here, so excited to have the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham and to be on her platform talking to you this evening, about, this particular aspect of missing the money. But, it's, you think, but now game is on.
Game on.
Game is on. Game is on. Matter of fact, just to let you know, game is on. This just arrived in Amazon tonight. The federal.
Girl, you got the FAR. You better go ahead, girl.
My game is on.
That's the contract Bible right there.
That's good.
Game is on.
Yes.
On. So I don't plan on missing any more money. I'm gonna listen to what Coach says do. I have and I will say this, and I want you guys to chime in on some of this stuff I've been saying. But another way we miss the money is through complacency and disobedience.
Absolutely.
Coach,
let's hold right there for a second. If
Okay.
you all are just joining us, we are doing a panel discussion tonight on different places, entrepreneurs and business owners, coaches, consultants are missing money, leaving money on the table. Sometimes it's just like rolling the car window down, and as you drive, the money just flying out the window. So if you're just joining us, please share out the broadcast, bring a friend, bring a cousin, bring a family member, bring a hater, because your haters are always watching you. Bring them along. One of your haters may end up being the best friend in your life. You may start their avenue to legacy into wealth. So took that little short pause for the cause. Y'all want to chime in on what Monique just said about that complacency and that disobedience? Woo!
I do. About 9 years ago, my spa coach, I walked in with an attitude because I am an educator. I'm not going to do what she told me to do.
Oh, you weren't coachable.
I wasn't, exactly. I was not coachable. And I wasn't coachable. Like I said, I walked in with the attitude like, I am an educator. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And there was things that she told me to do. And I'm not doing it. And that's just the way I told her.
I'm
I'm
sure.
gonna tell you what she told me to do. She says, and this is when live stream came out in the very beginning of live stream. She says, Carolyn, you're gonna have to start going live. I'm like, I'm not doing that. She says, if you don't do it, you're gonna be left behind. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. 9 years ahead, today she's a millionaire. Had I paid attention and I was coachable at that time, she would have brought me with her. So it pays attention to be coachable, because that's something that I strongly regret, that at that time I was not coachable. And last year she made millionaire status.
Wow.
And every time she see me and we're around a group of women, she'll point me out. That lady over there with the gray hair was not coachable.
Oh,
And she put me on blast.
Throw you under the bus.
She put me
wow.
on blast, throw me underneath the bus, throw me underneath the train. I don't care, because she's right.
Yeah.
I can live up to that. I was not coachable. And today, 9 years ahead, I'm very coachable. And for the young entrepreneurs that's coming up, when she talked to them, I like, you know what? Listen to her. Be coachable. Do everything she tell you to do. And she'll bring you with her. That's my biggest regret. I wasn't coachable, and now I am.
Wow.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's something. Let's switch up a little bit. Let's talk about how we miss money because we don't know where to look for it. And when I say that, let's get into talking about grants and loans and applying for these grants and loans, having your business set up correctly, having the correct paperwork in place, and just not being unafraid to step into that arena. A lot of people have everything in order, but one, they don't know about grants and loans. And then once they find out about it, they are afraid to take the opportunity to apply because they think it may obligate them to a larger responsibility. Y'all want to talk about that?
I would like to chime in on that one. I have
Okay.
been sharing all this knowledge, not all of it, but the grant knowledge to get people to come into our community to get the grants. I've been sharing the PPP link with people, to help them come into our community to get the PPP money. And it just behooves me. I just still don't understand it. And I'm just I just don't understand how you could be afraid of coming up. And it's not nothing that you have to do, but just have your paperwork right. And I also listened to Coach saying that she had an issue with trying to introduce the money last year. And so my thing is that I think that it is such a poverty mentality to be afraid of money. And that is in that the Millionaire Mind book. It teaches you to not be afraid of money. And a lot of people, as we've grown up, we've been taught to be afraid of money, but we didn't know that that's what we were learning. And so this one girl, God bless her soul, I almost begged her last year to fill out for her PPP. And this was even before I was in the community. And I was telling her, basically you're missing out. She's like, I don't care. And I think it's due to ignorance, fear, uh, and all of the above.
It's due to a lot of things, but I think it goes back to how you were raised and what your relationship with money is. If you've grown up, and y'all can chime in on this, if you have grown up most of your life hearing, well, what do you think? Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford. We can't do. I don't have a money tree in my backyard. Those things that you hear resonate with you. It's almost like saying positive affirmation. It's a negative affirmation, but if you hear it enough, it sticks with you, and it makes you shy away from going forward in a money relationship. And if you've done some things with money, had a lot of money, or didn't have a lot of money and you lost it, or you took a risk, because everything is a risk. You took a risk and you lost that money. It makes you a little gun shy. Y'all want to talk about that?
I do. I'm gonna say this. There are a lot of reasons why people will not take that step. And it's not so much as fear all the time. It might not be fear. It could simply be that it's on their own time.
That too.
Everybody has a different time to do whatever it is that they want to do. When it comes to grant money, when it comes to loan money, it might not be fear. It could be it's they're not ready for whatever reason they are not ready. And fear may not have nothing to do with it. It's just a mindset. And there's different types of mindsets. Two of them are prominent: a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Those are the two. And until they reach the growth mindset, it's not going to happen. And that takes a process by itself.
And
That's what I want to add.
it's funny that you say that, because all throughout this, that what has been playing in my mind tonight is due season. All things in due season. And that's all I'm gonna say. What y'all gotta say about that?
That due season though, that it comes. A lot of times our due season can come quicker than it comes if we are prepared. And we can attest to this when it comes to the grant, when it came to the PPP. Our community was ready. We were ready. We were prepared because we put in the work beforehand. So when the opportunity presented itself, all we had to do was say, hey, what, should we do this? Should we do that? Just give me a day and a time. And we were ready because we had gotten our business address. We had gotten our business telephone. We had opened up our business account. We had got our credit straight. There were people that could not get that EIDL loan out of grant, or the SBA, PPP, or whatever, because of credit. But guess what? When I applied, credit was not an issue for me. I didn't even think about a credit until somebody told me they couldn't get it because of their credit. And I was like, but we have put in the work. Coach had prepared us several months. We're not talking 1 or 2 months ahead of time. Coach had been preparing us from the beginning. From 2019.
Long before it was needed.
It was needed.
That goes back to that wise counsel and being coachable.
That's it. And I guarantee you, everybody who did what she told us to do, because Coach would tell us stuff, but that don't mean that we do it. But those who did what she said do, we had no problem when the pandemic hit and we had an opportunity to receive these grants and to receive, you know, the PPP money, the SBA loans, the EIDL grants, whatever. We had no trouble doing it. And that's why in her community, in our community, we can say 95%, 98%, 99% of us were able to, you know, to take advantage of those opportunities because we were prepared. So whoever that was that said something about, you know, it might not be fear, it could be that we're just not ready. Well, sometimes we're not ready because it does go back to hard-headed. It does go back to disobedience. It does go back to not really wanting to put in the work, just expecting things just to happen. And it doesn't happen. And we're missing out on money. We're missing out on money that folks saying, I'll just give you.
That
I'm
was
just
me
gonna
that was me that said it might not be fair because people move on their own time for whatever reason. And then you have a group of people who do not want to, and don't care to go after grant money, PPL money, EIM, whatever money that's out there because of COVID. They have their own personal reasons for not going after it.
I want it all.
It is what it is. And
I know,
and I know some of those
God
people
has for me, and I feel like if He'd have put it out there for me, by golly, I'm gonna get it.
Listen,
That's true. That is so true. It's like going fishing. You go to a pond, you hungry, and there's all this fish there, but you refuse to get your fishing pole out. That don't, to me, that's something that is prohibiting you. But I will say this on this story, that same young lady just contacted me a couple of days ago and asked me, so what did you say about that PPP loan? And I just shot her that bit.ly link. You know,
Wow.
yeah, because she can see now. She did say, you know, she was just scared. She didn't want to owe the government any money, basically. So, you know, people do have their own reasons, but I will say this: I'm like you, Vicky. I'm going for everything. I don't care. But if they have it, these times, I don't know how often you've been given grant money or how often you've been given a check by the government just to say, here's some extra money for you, because we know COVID affected your business. Girl, look, I'm gonna be the first one in line. Okay. I have never been given this opportunity in the 20 years that I've had my business. Never. So I guess I see it differently. I'm gonna dive in and I can't even swim. I can't.
well, I don't know about that, but I can swim pretty
Yeah, I don't
good
know
like a
about that.
fish. No, but what I was saying was that there are, I mean, you have people who need the money for their business, and that's all good. But there is a group of people out there who feel as though, you know what, I'm not doing that. And it's not that they're hungry, but they're in a financial situation where they feel like, I don't need that money. And there are people out there that exist that are like that. And that's keeping it 100% real.
I just think for those that really do need it, for the small business owners, for those who you know that maybe even before the pandemic that you were struggling in your business. I think for those, I think somebody said that if you were just thinking of a business, you may not have even made a dime in your business yet. And I think because we don't know what we don't know, that person who did not even make a dime in their business, they don't know that it's some grace and mercy waiting on them.
I agree.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna tell
But
you.
see, you
I
would
like
know that if you were in a community.
I'm gonna tell you a story. This young lady who I helped her open up her spa, and I told her about the community, and I told her about the grants and stuff like that. I said, listen, there's grant money out there, and I'm gonna give you the link to the website. All you gotta do is come in and listen. Did she do it? Nope.
And we can't make them. All we can
No.
do, all we, all they
We
can do
can lead
is the thing
them,
that was done to
but
me.
we
Just
can't
tell.
make
That's it.
them. I agree. We can lead them there, but we definitely cannot make them participate, come to the community, get the information, fill out the application. We can't do that. We can drop gems
Yeah.
and they act on it on how they see fit.
And
I
then,
like the fact that the information is just is free. That's out here. Anybody who is looking in. I just heard, I think it was Jasmine. She said this information is so helpful. So
Mhm.
think back, if anyone's been in business 5 years ago, 10 years ago, not only was the opportunities to get grants, to have PPP loans, was it not available and be forgivable? So it might have been available, but the fact that it's forgivable, that wasn't happening. But then the fact that you could probably just go on and information just be so readily available that you could find out, literally what you're getting yourself, what you're getting, what you can't get, the ins and outs of how it's going to be forgiven. And then also, the fact that you'll have, the support of a community to help you through that process when you're trying to figure out how you need to spend it. So that's part of, I think, that due season that Rose was talking about, because there are times when you have to make a move, because if you don't move, the window of opportunity is closing.
yeah.
Right.
With
And
all the grants, there's a cutoff date. You can look at it and say it's pretty and I got my stuff. And like, I remember I used to go through this thing with my son. We do his homework. His dad was his math tutor, and we'd sit there and we do all this homework. And then I get a note from the school saying Isaiah didn't turn this in, didn't turn that. And I couldn't figure for the life of me why you would do something and then not submit it, not, I couldn't get that, as a parent at that time. However, I think that thing kind of manifests itself, as just some character traits with people. Maybe they are willing to show up and go live and talk about it. Maybe they're willing to put forth the money and do the coaching. But at the end of the day, it literally is going to take you taking those necessary action steps, making that decision minute by minute by minute, to do whatever you need to do to, move your business and ultimately help all those people who were assigned to your voice.
I love that.
That's
good. One of the things I wanted to just jump in and say, Rose and I had a great BYOB weekend. And this morning we talked about standing on shoulders. We're in Women's History Month, and, the work that our predecessors have put in to get us to a place where we can make these choices to be abundant, these choices to have more, to be more, to serve more, to do more. And, they didn't have the access that we have today. And so, Alicia, when you were talking about things being free and the information being there, like that is critical for us to remember, no matter what phase in our life that we're in. I think that it's important to remember the things that we have access to and the options and the alternatives that are available to us that weren't available to those who came before us. So that's one thing. And the other thing, when we talk about people not being ready or people just not being in a space to do the things that we think they should be doing, I think that it's important to remember that even though they may not be moving physically, something is spinning on the inside, something is growing. We're planting seeds so that you went to that person last year and they can come back to you this year and say, I get it. That's a movement. That's powerful in and of itself. We can't judge a person's ability to move at the time and in the space and at the beat that we think that they should move. We have to honor their journey and their process and be that steady presence for them so that when they come back, I hear Coach talk about it all the time. People she met 9 years ago
are coming back now. You know, they had to go through whatever they had to go through to get there, but they're daggone it, they got it. And they couldn't receive it a moment earlier, you know, because we'll get it and then we'll sabotage ourselves. So we have to be primed and ready.
And a lot of times people are watching to see what we're going to do. How long are we going to stick and stay? How long is it going to take us to progress? You know, before they decide, they want to see you move and you be successful before they decide to dip their toe in the water and come behind you, because they're watching you. So you may be that prime example for them. And sometimes that's what it takes. I know I'm the adventurer in my family. Okay. I'll go from hither to yon by myself. No qualms, you know, I'll leave out here tonight if I could and jump on a plane, call them and call my sisters in the morning and say, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm in such and such and such place. They were like, okay, we talked to you last night. You were at home. Well, I decided I wanted to do da 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 da. They're not going to do that. That's not their makeup. They're not going to do anything like that. And they think I am just as crazy can be for doing it. Well, that's not their makeup. But there are certain things that I will do and I'll say, come on and do this with me. And they will say, no. But once I get in the middle or near the end, then they're ready to come along.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just that they're watching you. And someone had posted in the chat about the PPP and filling out the paper, paying the fee and all of that. And what happens next? What happens next is the process, the government's process. Because all of that still has to flow through the entity that the application was submitted to. And unfortunately, I don't think we don't have control over that. Once that's done, we are kind of at that entity's mercy. And when when that entity or the government is releasing funds and all of that. So like with anything, it's a process, and even more so with our government.
But you know, Rose, you know, you made a great point about some people not being ready to move. And it just goes back to Vicky's point about having that community, you know, because we may not have the courage in and of ourselves, but when we start locking arms with each other, you know, she talked about Coach preparing, you know, everyone to get their paperwork in order. Like, that's something that's so intimidating to me. And I'll just be honest, you know, that if I don't have that guidance and that push, PPP what?
And also the possibility of the rejection. Nobody likes to hear no. No matter how close the no's get you to a yes. Because they say, you know, you get 10 no's for every yes you get. But nobody likes going through that process of the no. Well, I can't say nobody. I don't like to go through the process of the no. I don't like to be told no for nothing.
But that's where our money comes up missing as well, because we don't want to experience the rejection, we don't do anything.
Nice.
And so we let a human sound, the word no, keep us from our millions. You know, and I'm just at a point now where I could just care less. I just have to, my mind is so on my coins right now. My mind is so, I have missed out on too much money. That's why someone told me or asked me, why did I pay someone to fill out my application and, you know, to help me with my PPP application. And they was like, that was just a waste of money and this, that, and the other. And I was like, I'm never gonna miss a dime again, not if I can help it.
Vicky said there's levels to this.
I mean, really. And so for those of you who want this, you know, you want to apply for the PPP, you don't quite, and I'm a very intelligent woman, but when I look at certain paperwork, and if it's, you know, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I don't know this terminology, I don't know this, or I think this is what it is, then that's when I stop and I say, I'm not the expert in this area.
Yes.
Let me go to the expert. And this is why I love this community, because we had an expert in the community that was like, hey, I can be of assistance to you. And it just upped my chances of not hearing that no. Because I didn't want to struggle through the application that I'm already intimidated by and receive the no.
And get
And so I'm like, let me up the ante. Let me, up my chances. Let me increase my chances of getting this money so that I can do what I need to do so that I won't miss out on any more money. Because don't you know, in order not to miss money, you need some money.
Absolutely. But can I throw this at you? Can I throw this out there at a different angle? Let the virtual time and sales genie throw this to y'all at a different angle. Okay.
Come on, sales genie.
Throw it.
Okay. Y'all ready for this?
I'm ready. Come on.
Okay. You paid someone to fill out your PPP application. Well, it may take them 1 hour, which may take you 3 or 4, which may take you 3 or 4 hours.
No, 3 or 4 hours just to read it and understand.
Those 3 hours that you've given over to them for an hour have freed up your 2 hands to do something, to do other revenue generating activity in those 3 hours. So let's say you paid, I don't know, $1,500.
There we go.
I'm always counting the money. Okay.
All right now.
Say you paid $1,500 to get your application completed. That $1,500, but check this out. That $1,500 may garner you anywhere from $10,000 forward. Okay. For 1 hour of someone else's time, but your 3 hours of time that you've now freed your hands up with, you may make another $5,000 or $8,000 or more with that time you had sitting over here. So my question is, what you gonna do with that?
And that's not even
I'm going to make a smart investment.
Yeah. So you got to look at what you're investing in, what the time means, because see, you can always get more money regardless of what anyone tells you, but you can't get more time. You're not going to get more time. And anything that you can do to free your hands, to be able to generate more revenue in your business is a smart investment. So you paid $1,500 to get 10,000. How does that balance out? That's what, 15 versus 10. That's what, 10. That's I mean, come on now. 1,500.
It was a no-brainer for me.
Exactly.
It was a no-brainer for me.
It's a no-brainer.
And for me as well.
Plain and simple.
But that's a mindset.
Yes.
That's a mindset.
That's
that growth mindset.
That's
it.
Now I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let y'all take it on from there.
I want to
growth mindset.
Someone wrote in the chat, and this is from Jasmine. She says, that's why I joined the junior membership. I was preparing and purchasing for my business in 2019, and then she got sick. She says, once she got better, she filled out the paperwork for her LLC in March 2020, not knowing the process, but now she's in the position to get things in proper order. So this community has been a blessing to her.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Now she said a big word there. Positioning.
What's that?
Positioning.
That's it.
Positioning. You have to position yourself in your business. She said something else too. When she got sick and she had to stop. If any one of us out here in the audience and right here on this panel were to get sick today, and if Coach has taught us how to position our businesses, your business could take care of you while you are taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
What y'all think about that?
But you know, Rose, that goes back to, oh my gosh, I'm just praying and believing. I need some passive recurring income. We're missing money because we're so busy working for our money instead of our money working for us.
Vicky, coaches taught us that. How to put our money on automation.
Right, because
Yeah.
you don't want to create a job for yourself. You
That's
don't want to
it.
leave one job to create another job. Now, you may leave a job working with 100 people, but then you come home and you be an entrepreneur working for yourself. You're just trading one job
One
for
job
another
for
job.
another.
You don't want to do that. You want to trade your job for a business so your business can take care of you. You structure it right. Coach has taught us that. Coach prepares us, not just for the pandemic, because she prepared us ahead of time.
See, I came in late. I ain't
Oh,
get that
girl,
prep. I ain't get that prep, but I'm sticking.
Baby.
Yeah,
baby.
listen.
Coach said, go buy them free.
Y'all don't know nothing about Coach Danielle Winningham.
Coach said, go buy those freezers. Go get that food. Order it. Don't go to the grocery store. See, that's another thing about freeing up your hands. You spend an hour or two in the grocery store when you could have hit a few buttons, ordered your food, had it put on your doorstep, and you creating money while you sitting. Your groceries are dropped off. They knock on the door. They go away. You take a break, go bring them in the house and come back and do what you do. More time. More time for more sales.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that I love about Coach Danielle Winningham is first and foremost, she is a visionary.
Absolutely.
Okay, she is a visionary. She's not just filled with wisdom and business, a master business coach, master life coach, and former vice president of JP Morgan Chase, a reverend doctor in her own right, and things of that nature. But she is a visionary. And when she sees things, she tells us. And now, even though I wasn't in the community either, Latalia, when when the pandemic hit, but when Coach started preparing us, she went back to having COVID conversations again. And when it started, it seems like people, some of the states and the cities were going to be going back into a partial shutdown. She told us to start preparing again. And I listened to her and I went and did what she said do. And on her birthday, on her actual birthday, Kansas City, Missouri, went back into a partial shutdown. But I had food and everything in my house because I was obedient to what she had said to do. So she is a visionary, and that's one of the things that I love and truly appreciate and thank God for her.
Absolutely.
You know what, Monique? I think I was just coming into the community at that time, and I remember your message. You did like a DM to the group or something, just saying thank you and talking about the preparation that you done. I remember that message you sent to the group. Yeah.
Yeah, totally awesome. Totally awesome. And welcome, Jasmine, to the Junior Mentorship. Congratulations. Everyone else that's in the community that's watching and that's here watching in the Zoom room. And so we just welcome you. Welcome you.
Right. As they say on Clubhouse, Monique, let's reset the room.
Yeah, let's
I'm practicing my clubhouse jargon. Let's reset the room, everybody. If you all are just coming in, we are here tonight talking about the ways that we are missing money in our businesses. And some of those missing money leaks are not as obvious as some of the others. Like, for instance, we stand on the shoulders of giants who did not have as much as we had. And they did great things. They created whole communities, whole towns of businesses. And we have every creature comfort that there could be technology wise. And why we still missing money, y'all? Help me out. Tell me why we still missing money.
Well,
you said the one thing. You said community.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go ahead, Vicky. Go ahead.
Now, Rose, she said community, and I know for me, I'm missing out on money because my community is not as is not quite where I know I need it to be. And so one of the things that I'm working on is really creating a society, creating a family, creating a place, a community, a marketplace, where I can go, where I can nurture the very people that I say that I want to help. And I know for me, I've been lacking that. And I see those that have a tribe, that they have a community, they're making money. They're making money. And so, I mean, and again, and you all are going to hear us say this time and time again, coach, every time, coach, but coach nurtures her community.
She does.
like the boss she is.
Absolutely.
She goes above and beyond. She listens, she watches, she steps up to the plate. She knows that we're hurting and she's there to heal. She knows that we need something and she's there to serve. And so I oftentimes ask myself, how am I showing up for the very people that I say that I want to serve?
Absolutely.
The very people that I say I want to help. Am I really serving them? Because at some point, it's going to be reciprocated.
Yeah.
Am I hunting down who's going to come to my webinar? Who's going to come to that master class? Who's going to, purchase that program or this, that? It should not be, it should be a no-brainer that it's going to be my community if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not coming to my community and treating them like a one-night stand. That I'm only coming to them when I want them to purchase something from me. And what am I giving them in between time?
What value are you bringing into their life?
Those questions.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, I did not like the answers. I did not like the fact that when I'm not at 100% and I can't show up, I'm missing money because I haven't created a team. I don't have the volunteers. I don't have the ambassadors. It's those things that we should be doing, that we know that we should be doing, but because we don't do it, we're missing out on money. And we can no longer use as an excuse that we don't know, not this community.
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely.
Because we know.
That's true. And
we more than know.
We more than know.
Yeah, we
we shamefully know.
Yeah. and why do we shamefully know? Because Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham gives us the opportunity to showcase what she has poured into us. How do I know that? Look at the panel that's sitting up here tonight. She's allowed all of us to be on her platform.
Yeah.
Now, we know that we're representing not only our brands, but we're representing her brand as well.
Yeah.
She's not going to turn us loose on her brand.
Right.
So run amok.
Really go for it. Okay. Yeah. She has trained us well. Mm-hmm. And I've been in a lot of coaching communities. I've been in the coaching streets.
Right.
For a minute. I've been in the coaching streets for a minute. Okay. And this is the first community where I see that the coach pours into her community at every opportunity she can.
Yeah.
Most of them, Vicki, are like you say, no tea, no shade. Because I've gotten something from every community that I've been in. And and I'm still in a lot of these communities.
Yeah, me too.
I don't look at any of it as something I should not have done, because it's all been a growth experience. But a lot of communities, as you said, Vicki, you only see them, they only show up when they have something to offer, or quarterly when they're selling a program. They don't continuously schedule something. I mean, in this community right here, we can be doing something with Coach 7 days.
7 days.
7 days a week.
We just about are. I mean, when I say
7 whole days.
I mean, like every day. I mean, she pours and she pours and she pours. And when you think that she's giving all, she's
pours
Here
like,
comes
hey,
something else.
hey, I'm about to do this. Y'all want to see how I do it? I'm about to do this. You know, I mean,
absolutely.
So for us, we should not be missing money.
Absolutely.
I would like to look at the other side to say, well, then if you are somebody and you're watching and you do not have that level of support, if you do not have someone who's, making opportunities for you to get your money, okay, or finding ways to get money so you can elevate and educate yourself, well, then, you might need to get on the phone and schedule a call and come on over here to our side.
Come on now.
Look, you know what? You can go to bit.ly/missing money.
Come on.
That's it. Missing money 2021.
bit.ly/missing money 21. Don't be scared. Come on.
And let that be a path.
Come on.
Come on.
I wanted to share a story. Here recently in Texas, I think the world knows that Texas suffered a terrible winter storm, and I ended up Coach and I think we live in the same city. She lives one little city over from me, but I guess all those cities are in Houston, whatever. And so
this is a big place.
It is huge. So then I suffered another loss in my salon. And then I suffered another loss for my daughter being in the hospital. And I had put that in my mentee chat, and not knowing that Coach, I should know she's going to see everything anyway. She didn't say nothing in particular, but she had been listening. And she sent me this most beautiful bracelet, and this is it. And it has an inscription in it. It says, "Believe in you like I do." And so it's the little bitty things that she does too. She does all these major things. Then she turns around and she does something so just particular for you, because it's like I see her like a shepherd and we're her flock. So she's watching over us, and it's really nothing that she could do for my situation, but to just encourage me, and even she coached me through it. She was like, look, don't worry about that. You can't be there with your daughter. Just find something else to do. Concentrate on that. Because she already know I had all this nervous energy, of trying to fix everything and knowing that I couldn't do anything. And so, she is just
good gifts. She's very thoughtful. And it's not just about the business. It's about the whole person. It's about your mindset. It's about your business, but it's also about your heart. Taking care of your heart. And she shows that well.
She does show that. And as big as this community is, she knows what's happening to each and every person, and she's taking that into consideration, because I'm trying to push forward and I want to do more in the community. And she's like, girl, I don't know, because she knows me somehow, she knows what I can actually bear. And so I really appreciate that. I appreciate her for, she'll say something. She's like, I don't know, always wanted to be about the business. And I can see that it's not always just about the business. It's about me as a person as well. And I really, really do appreciate that. And
that's
also
priceless, Yvette. Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to say that I'm just so grateful for the like-mindedness that's within our community. It is just so amazing to go on those chats. Sometimes I don't see them all day. When I go on, I'm like, oh my God, they all thinking about their business too, And so having that like-mindedness in the community is just like gas to my tank, So I was always busy giving out, and I can come to the community and it's so many people willing to put gas in your tank, Many people are willing to be there and listen and critique you with love, tell you you know, okay, that's not good, but this sounds good. And we're all being trained by the same person. So we're all having that same like-mindedness. It's really beautiful.
I
Yvette,
love it.
that's a beautiful thing. I look at our community as a sisterhood. Um, it's a strong sisterhood. It's a binding sisterhood. And we're there for each other, regardless of what happened in business and in personal life. So we have a strong sisterhood, which is to me a lot stronger than just a community because we're tied to each other.
Absolutely. And I often say, when you're in business, life and business intersect. You can't do one without the other. You can't. And we're gonna get ready to wrap up, y'all. And that's the last comment I have, ladies. Each one of you all want to go through and give a closing comment. Mine is life and business intersect. You can't do one without the other.
Mine is to value yourself, value what you have to offer to the world, and allow yourself to be compensated for it.
Oh, I like that.
And I think mine is that you don't have to miss it, that you don't have to miss out on it. That is yours. Get it. Just go get it. Get up, make a move. The money is yours.
Mine
Let
is
the light
walk
bulb.
by faith.
Go ahead.
Mine is walk by faith and not by sight. Don't be
Love
afraid
it.
of what you see. Just do it and walk. If it's like you feel like you're walking on water, just walk on in there and do it.
All right, now.
I'm
Let the
just
light
going to
bulb be
piggyback.
turned on by you getting a coach and being coachable. Not just having a coach, but actually doing what she says do.
And I'm going to kind of piggyback on what Yvette said, and really and truly let mine be, you got to step out on faith. If you want to have something you never have, you're going to have to do something you've never done. So step out on faith and just do the dang thing.
All right. And before I hit the button, y'all, if you want to,
Carolyn.
I'm sorry, Carolyn, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm a follow what Monique said as far as being coachable, but I also have a model, and my model I learned from serving 20 years in the military, and that is be all you can be and be very damn good at it.
All right now. You gonna make me dance over here. And if you all out there listening and that joined us tonight, if you want to join this community, if you want more information, go to bit.ly/missingmoney21 or hit any of these ladies you see here in their DM. See, that's something good to get in the DM for. And
sliding up in the DM to learn how to get that.
Right, slide in the DM. That's something good to slide in the DM. Don't
get in that community.
Don't slide in there with no foolishness. This is something good to slide in the DMs about. Any of these ladies you see sitting here tonight, and you want more information, you reach out to us. bit.ly/missingmoney21 or DM any of these ladies. We're going to say good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, sisters.